All right, next topic on surface area is going to be our can, or right circular cylinder, okay? So our can be drawn like this, okay? So we have top, sides, okay? And, you get the point, right? Can, okay? So our can has two numbers that are two things it's going to give you. It's going to give you the height, and it's going to give you the radius, okay? So the height and the radius, okay? That's the numbers we're looking for a can. That's really all the numbers we need. So what's our formula? Okay, so this formula, it can be a little daunting if you look at it, but don't get freaked out by it. Remember, there's a way to do things. You just gotta trust me and follow me, okay? So our surface area of a can, here's our formula. It's 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h, okay? So 2 times pi times the radius squared plus 2 times pi times r times h, okay? So break it down, okay, plug in numbers you have. So really what you're gonna do is you have the r and the h. So your radius will go where the r is, and the h will go where the height is here, okay? And you plug numbers in, you just order of operations. Remember, I cannot stress order of operations, PEMDAS, all right? PEMDAS. Always remember PEMDAS for all these things, okay? So let's give you an example, all right? Let's draw you another can here. Hopefully this one will be better. Boop, okay. So let's say your height is 7, and then let's give you a radius of 4, okay? So that's only two numbers we need is the height and the radius. So now we're plugging things into our formula, okay? So here's our first part. 2 times pi times the radius squared. So our radius is 4. So 4 squared, okay? I use parentheses just to tell you that's what the number, we're replacing our r with what we have for r, which is our 4, right? Plus 2 pi, and then the r again, remember, so r is 4, and then the h, which is 7, okay? So we're multiplying these things, right? So do that side, do each side individually, and then add them up together at the end, okay? Order of operations. So what's our first thing we do in order of operations, okay? Do our exponent, look. Exponent right here, right? 4 squared. So 4 squared, remember 4 squared, 4 times 4 would be 16, and then the rest, 2 pi 4, 7, okay? So did that first, 4 squared. Now, simple multiplication, right? Now once again, you can use the pi button, you can use 3.14, it's up to you, doesn't matter, okay? So we gotta do 2 times pi, I'm just gonna use 3.14, times 16 equals 100.48, okay? So all I did was just multiply that times that times that, okay? Plus, and then our second part here, 2 times 3.14 times 4 times 7 equals 175.84. Now, add them up. So 175.84 plus 100.48, and our final answer is 276.32. And that's it, okay? So it looks complicated. It looks like a lot of things going on, in the formula here, but really, it's just two numbers we need: radius, height. The radius goes with the r is, so we have 4, the radius goes with r's here, and our height is a 7, goes to the end here. Order of operations, PEMDAS. Square our radius first. Don't multiply first and then square it. Square the radius first and then multiply everything, okay? All right, let's do another one. Okay. So sometimes they're gonna give you they're gonna give you the diameter. Okay. So let's do one of those. Let's do one where our diameter is 7. Okay, and our height is 11. Now, This is, let me show you, number 3A in the assignment for the textbook, okay? So, our diameter is 7, our height is 11. Now, remember, here's our formula, all right? 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r h, okay? So plug in our numbers. We got 2, we got pi, now we need the radius. Now remember, it gives you the diameter. So if you have the diameter, what do you need to find the radius? Remember, diameter is half of our radius. So because we have 7 as our diameter, we have to cut that in half first. So you have to do 7 divided by 2 to get 3.5. So our radius is 3.5, and we're going to square that. So remember, half of that, we need half 3.5 to our radius, plus 2 pi, our radius again, which we said is 3.5, times h, which is 11, okay? Now, remember, you're doing this side first and then this side. So do the math. Square 3.5 first. So we have 3.5 in here, and we're going to square it to get 12.25, okay? So 2 pi 12.25 plus 2 pi 3.5, 11, okay? Now, multiply this side. We have 12.25, multiplying that by 3.14, multiplying by that by 2, and we get 76.93 for our first part here, okay? So all I did was multiply that times that times that, okay? Second part, this side here, we have 2 times 3.14 times 3.5 times 11, and that equals 241.78. Now, we take these two numbers and add them, okay? So we have our number 241.78 plus 76.93, and our answer totally is 318.71. Okay, so once again, cylinder, plug numbers in, okay? If you have diameter, you need to find the radius. Remember, I'll write this down for you guys. Diameter is half, your radius is half the diameter. Okay, remember that. Your radius is half the diameter. So it gives you diameter, cut it in half first, okay? Let's do one more on cylinder. So, this is going to be number 6, okay? So it says calculate the height of a right circular cylinder with a surface area of 300 square inches and a radius of 5 inches. So what's the question asking us for? It wants the height. Calculate the height. We have our surface area of 300 and our radius of 5. So it wants the height to these things, okay? So we need to plug into our formula what we know, okay? So we know, I'm just trying what we know. So we know for this problem, we know that our surface area, our SA, is 300, and we know that our radius, all right, is 5. We need to find the height. That's what we're trying to find, okay? So let's write it out, okay? So if our surface area is 300, so the whole thing is 300, okay? Now, that's going to equal our formula. So 2 pi, our radius is 5, so 5 squared plus 2 pi, our radius is 5, and then h is what we're trying to find. So for h, I'm going to put an x there, okay? Well, actually, no, I'm just going to put h. Because we need to find h. That's what we're trying to find, is our h. This is our letter we're trying to find. So now it's just an equation, okay? Solving for the letter, okay? We have our surface area is 300. We need to work backwards and solve for h. So let's do that, okay? Follow along. First thing we gotta do what you can do. You can do this right here. 2 times pi times 5 squared, okay? So remember, square your radius first. You have 5 squared is 25. So 2 pi 25, okay? And the rest, okay? So 2 times pi times 25. So 2 times 3.14 times 25 equals 157. So 157 plus, and then this part here, do what you can do, okay? You can do 2 times 3.14 times 5, 31.4, right? That's this part right here, 31.4. The h, you can't do anything with it. It stays, just stays with it, okay? So now, bring down your 300. So 300 equals 157 plus 31.4h. Now, it's a two-step equation. So what do we do next to get h by itself? Well, we have to move this part over here. How do we do that? It's positive, so we have to do minus 157 minus 157. That cancels. 300 minus 157 equals 143. There's a spider in front of me. And then bring down our 31.4h. And then our last step, remember, is to divide. So I'm running out of room here. So we got 143 equals 31.4h. Our last step, divide. Divide by 31.4 on both sides, because that's what our h is cut to. So 143 divided by 31.4. And our answer, we get this decimal here, it's fine. You can round 4.56 equals h. Okay. So, I know, it looks like a lot, okay? It's okay, it's not a lot. Well, it could be a little bit, but no, it's steps, right? Write down what you know. We knew the surface area is 300. We knew the radius was 5. We need to find the height. We put everything we knew into our formula. Our surface area was 300. Our radius is 5. Our height is what we're trying to find, okay? Then you just do the math. We solve that. We squared our radius first to get 25. We multiplied these three to get 157. We did 2 times pi times 5 to get 31.4. We brought the h down with it. Then to get the h by itself, we moved the 157 by subtracting it to this side to 300 to get 143. Brought down this part here, and then the last step is to divide. Pi was attached to our h on both sides, and we're left with 4.56 equals our height, okay? And that's it for our cylinder.